Hi, I'm TenFourA and you're watching a review of a brand new indie game, Flame Over, developed by Laughing Jackal and published by Ghostlight. I would like to thank the people at the Laughing Jackal for giving me a copy of the game to review before its release on Steam for PC. Sites of the developers are down below in the description. Flame Over is a top-down fireman squirt-em-up action-packed simulator with a roguelike twist to it that will be released on the 28th of May 2015 on Steam for PC. You can pre-order it right now with a whopping 40% discount, so after watching this video you should probably scoot over to the Steam store and get it if you enjoy fire-killing action. Let's go into the game itself and talk about what waits for us, the players, behind the curtain of uncertainty, and jump right into the middle of things. In the main menu, we see the main character we play as, Blaze, the man of courage, a firefighter who storms into the wild unknown of randomly generated building that consists of 16 levels in total, which are broken into 4 different settings, or acts, which have different hazards and force the player to play accordingly and adapt to each of the 4 environments. The visual component of the game is cartoony, cute, and downright gorgeous. It certainly attracts the eye from the first time you start up the game. As I said before, we play as Blaze the fireman, and we start at the fire exit of the floor with a refill station for our 2 weapons of flame destruction. The user interface is minimal yet informative, which I really liked, but it's a little bulky for my taste. Looking around the screen, we see the second enemy, the clock. Yes, we have to kill fires and do it quickly, otherwise something will happen, which I will not tell you about, and leave a hint. The game does not end after the clock reaches 0. On the top right, we got the life bar, which contains hearts. Each heart is a life that you lose if you get too friendly with a fire. There are ways to get up to a maximum of 5 hearts. You can get them by rescuing cats, finding them while searching containers within the levels, or getting them at the shop. At the bottom right we have the gadgets that we can utilize during the firefighting. There are a bunch of items to get that help you during the whole ordeal. Also, there are upgrades for the weapons that boost your ability to extinguish the flames that have actually synergy with the gadgets themselves. On the top left, we see money. That serves 2 purposes. You get your score based on the amount you accumulate before you run out of lives, and you can also buy power-ups in the shop. I'm not sure how random or not it is, but I think it's safe to say you will get a chance to get something in the shop at least once per act. On the bottom left, we have our mini-map, ammunition, and thermometer. We have 2 weapons, the hose and the extinguisher. Each has its own uses and have different range and specific particle system that is used differently at different situations. The white bar is for the foam for the extinguisher, the blue one is water for the hose. You can refill your water supply at some key locations on the level, and you can also refill your extinguisher picking one up on the level or at the refill station. You can also find a fire axe to break down more doors that were sealed. The soundtrack is really well done and does not get on your nerves while you play the game. It does the complete opposite, complementing the cartoony look and feel of the game with its upbeat and fun-loving character, making it a stunning addition to the game experience. The mission of the game is to fight through the fire up to the last level, saving workers in the building and their cats from deadly flames, escorting them to the fire exit. NPCs that you have to save are broken into 3 categories. Cats, which give you life points when you save them, workers that add 1 minute to the timer, and Miss Ion that give you something special when you help her get out of the building. The only problem I've encountered so far with the NPCs is that they are sometimes blind to the obstacles that stop them from going further. Maybe it's because they actually have no eyes or their hair is in the way. But the secret will remain as such, since the only people who know why the AI is derpy around tables and doorways are the developers. The main enemy of the game is the fire, which has a mind of its own and you have to learn its ways through many trials and errors like I did. It works around an AI system that closely resembles real-life fire that can trick you and kill you in a blink of an eye if you will not pay enough attention to what's going on around you. There are several types of fire, and it can jump out of certain places and ignite the whole level back again if you miss a spot. Fire is unforgiving to those who don't respect its power. Tread lightly. The levels are really well made and have a great amount of replay value because of the amount of different rooms that can be placed within a level, and each has its own weak spots to fire, which can get you in a tight spot really fast. Every act or zone has its own style of tiles and entities that work differently, with fire making it a different challenge each time you go into a zone higher than the previous level. There are a few features in the game that remind you of the classics in gaming history, from Zelda to Dark Souls, that make the game even more compelling to play. Gameplay is simple, addictive, fun, and challenging at the same time, making it a really well balanced game. The controls are very responsive and user-friendly. They also can be remapped for the most part on the PC version to suit your preference, which is always a big thumbs up from me personally, because I always remap the keys and get sad when I cannot do that. The soundtrack and graphics work together very well, making it a perfect blend of a cartoony adventure within the flames, and the music is pretty catchy as well. After a while, when I turned the game off, I still had it playing in my head for a while. That's what I call a great soundtrack. It might be hard for some players who can be pushed away from this title because of its difficulty, but I advise you to give it a go regardless of your relationship with roguelikes, or just more difficult titles that your usual run-of-the-mill casual game, even though I would call this game casual because it is easy to pick up, yet it's insanely hard to master. There are also some features like the skill tree and the leaderboards that make the game even more fun to play and push you to play harder and better, honing your skills and bragging with your scores. I will definitely recommend this game to everyone regardless of taste or age, simply because it's a downright good game with a lot to offer in terms of replay value and amounts of fun. I cannot get enough of this game myself, and I hope you will enjoy it as much as I have. Happy firefighting!